biblical opponents could invoke if they really were strict literalists adhering to a wooden approach. Eighth, another prominent defense one can expect to hear is, that's what it says, but that's not what it means. To that, one can't help but ask, if that's not what it means, then why was it translated that way? Advocates of this tactic are actually saying that they have constructed a more appropriate version of the text than a panel of experts. And insofar as the text in dispute is concerned, the experts are incompetent. In effect, adherents to this defense are contending that they know Greek and Hebrew better than a group of distinguished scholars. Virtually every version of the Bible was composed by a group of Greek and Hebrew translators who examined a wide variety of manuscripts and chose the wording they deemed most suitable. For this defense to merit serious consideration, it would have to come from someone who was not only an exceedingly competent translator, but extremely well versed in Greek and Hebrew. Unfortunately, those who rely most upon this defense are nearly always anything but. A ninth and final argument often utilized by biblical defenders is that exposers of the Bible are too petty. Pettiness is a matter of opinion, and what is petty to some is very important to others. Effective lawyers often use details deemed petty by their opponents. Ironically, after all is said and done, apologist Richard Sisson provided as good a comment on all of these apologetic defenses as anyone when he said on pages 55 and 56 in the second volume of his work entitled Answering Christianity's Most Puzzling Questions, quote, "People do strange things when they're cornered by facts. When evidence cannot be denied, men who care nothing for the truth simply become illogical. Minds become willfully ignorant and emotions turn hostile." Unquote. How relevant, how prevalent, how cogent, how right he is. Because apologists don't hesitate to use every excuse imaginable, freethinkers should spend a significant amount of time in bookstores and libraries reading apologetic works. One should prepare as would a general going into battle. Anyone who intends to fire something over should know what could return in response. All teams in sports send out scouts to evaluate the opposition. Businesses buy and analyze their competitors' products. All nations spy on one another constantly. Each knows he must discover what resides in the other side's arsenal before effective opposition is a realistic possibility. Those who critique the Bible without having done their homework can expect to be thrown off track and even unnerved to some extent. So, knowing what lies in the opponent's inventory prior to an encounter is both prudent and wise. The key is to do your research, be prepared, return to the fray, and don't quit. If you've done your homework and think logically, they won't have a chance. We'd like to conclude by reading a critical letter from Washington State. The writer says, quote, "Dear Mr. McKenzie, you are absolutely right. The Bible can't be explained by reason. I can't figure out a lot of things that are in the Bible. Some things can be proven historically and so forth, but where is the proof that all the spiritual aspects are true. I just don't understand. However, I also don't understand a lot of Einstein's theories, but I believe them because they seem to work. I also believe the Bible because when I try its principles, they seem to work. Maybe I'm looking through rose-colored glasses, but I happen to like the idea of a hero who saved me from who knows what. I also like the idea of living forever in a place called heaven. It just all seems like a lot of fun to me, and I know I'm enjoying having a relationship with Jesus. I know you probably think I'm silly and ignorant. Now, why would anybody think that? Not willing to face the facts and so on. I just have one question for you. If it's wrong, what will happen to me? I will live a happy and satisfied life and take my chances of lying like a dog. That is, no afterlife. If you're wrong, what will happen to you? Unquote. To this I said, "Dear writer, well, on at least one point you're to be commended. You didn't send us a lot of gobbledygook, apologetic gobbledygook and claptrap, teeming with rationalizations, prevarications, and obfuscations, seeking to prove black as white. You cut through the usual rhetoric and went straight to the heart of the matter. Tossing reason aside, you openly admit that you believe the Bible because, quote, you like the idea of a hero who saved you from who knows what, and, quote, the idea of living forever in a place called heaven."